Oh, yuck. I was reminded of the conversation on 3AW earlier in the week from the disgraced Labor puppet that is the former chief magistrate Nick Pappas, the disgusting, disgraceful law family, the Pappas family, and how his sister was outsmarted by a member of the drug court order, the Melbourne drug court order that she was running, which led to his sister. How disgusting. And here's the disgraced Labor puppet, Nick Pappas, on 3AW radio, going on my advice in a little underhanded comment. My advice is to the public, don't react on everything you hear, okay? Because we're working on stuff. Like they've had 10, 15 years of using women in the most degrading of degrading ways. His sister was caught out not only using women in the most degrading of degrading ways, that's drug addicted women in the most degrading of degrading ways. His sister was caught out on her Melbourne drug court order using hidden cameras in the surveillance rooms at the in the urine testing rooms at the Melbourne drug court order. His sister was caught out, that's Pappas from the Melbourne drug court order, was caught out allowing for the use of artificial intelligence combined with facial recognition technology to cook the participants. In one case, they were doing it to a well-known violent offender who was just trying to turn his life around, but instead what he was met with was a dodgy left-wing Labor muppet like Pappas and her band of misfits doing his head in until he was that aggravated, this well-known violent offender, he ended up lashing out violently and stabbing an innocent member of the public and very nearly smashing a small axe over the brave first responder's head. Now, but hang on, when a brave, very brave Melbourne drug court participant stood up to it and on court record repeatedly told the Labor puppet Nick Pappas's sister Pappas that what she was doing was utterly disgraceful and the public would be appalled, to cover up their crimes, literally, they ran a fake media story about the Melbourne CCTV security cameras having been hacked. Now, as the Melbourne drug court participant, who was also just trying to turn his life around after being harassed for a long time by a very dodgy system and obviously corrupt now, when this guy was trying to turn his life around and put it on her and said how terrible it is, they ran this fake news story, this public manipulating, this media manipulating news story, saying how the CCTV cameras of the Melbourne court system they ran with had been hacked. And again, if that was the case, every single person in that Magistrate Pappas's drug court, 3 weeks and the entire time, but definitely within 3 weeks of that news report running, were well aware of who the hacker was. So to the Magistrate Pappases, to the Labor puppets, you ought to hang your head in shame. You've done more than enough damage to this once lovely state. Have a look at it. Hang your heads in shame, hang your wigs up and get the hell away from it, because you've done far too much damage, Nick Pappas and co, you disgusting people.